Hello everyone, once again this is Grungi, your host for today, and today we are going to do something a little bit different than what we are used to do. So today I'm not playing video games. As you can see, we are in a program called Blender, and I'm going to do a little video tutorial because I'm using Blender for a lot of stuff, and as you can see it's a 3D program which you can use to place objects and make scenes and animations and all that good stuff. But today we are not talking about this. We are going to talk about making editing videos in Blender. That's my go-to video editing software for quite some time now, and I figured you could maybe find an interest in seeing what I do in it and how I use it. So basically I will go first, the first task will be to set up the interface, because Blender has a very customizable interface and we want to set it right for video editing. Blender is actually divided into several panes that you can resize. So you can see we have here a big 3D view, a hierarchy like project layout pane, preference pane with all the different options from all the different kinds of tools you can have, a timeline, and an info bar, which is basically a menu screen. So the first thing we want to do, we don't want to work with this view. We don't really need a 3D view. So what I'm going to do is go click in this corner, and you see that there's a similar button in each of the panes, and it lets you choose which pane you want this area of the screen to display. So the one we are going to use the most is the video sequence editor. So there you go, and you see it's basically a number of tracks in which you will be able to put like videos or sound or images or effects and do your editing in it. So it's basically your standard editing software, but that's not all we will want to do, of course. This pane is useful because we have all the image parameters, so the resolutions you want to put your output your video at, all the output parameters like the format you want to use. So we'll go into that in a minute. So we want to keep it there because it's always useful to know how you're going to render things. But we will split this big region because it's kind of too big and we want some other stuff on screen. So how do you do that? You go on the separation line, so the place when you can resize the pane. You can right click and it brings up a menu which is split or join area. We want to split it. You see a line that's coming across the zone. You select where you want to split, you left click, and here you go. You have two panes which by default show the same thing, and we are going to do the same splitting operation on the top part and do like this. So on the right side here, I want to have a preview of my video, because I want to be able to scrub through the video and see what I'm doing, and you can do that by clicking one of these three buttons, and the first one is basically this view, so the different tracks and all that. The second one is the one we want. It's a preview, and you can have a third one which has both combined, but I prefer to have like a separate one for flexibility purposes. And on this pane we are going to put a file browser. So I look into the list there, I see file browser, I use this, and I've already made a bookmark with my source files, and you can actually maybe snap all the browser all the way to the left to collapse the menu. You see a little plus there which you can use to bring it back, and maybe show the icon. So as usual, you have several lists. I'm going to make a test video with Minecraft footage, but basically it's, well, you can have whatever you want. I like to have everything in one place so I can easily use it afterwards, but you can even drag and drop files from your Explorer outside Blender into the tracks there, and it's going to import it, no problem. I'm going first to go through this thing because we want to have the output format and everything set up before we import the clips into the editor itself. So I'm usually recording in 30 frames per second, so that's frame rate under dimensions there. That's basically the one I use, and I'm usually recording in 720p. So by default it's like full HD 1080p. What you can do is click in the middle of the button there, and you see you can edit the value. So I'm using 1280 and 720, so that's the size I'm using, and I crank this up to 100%. So that means if you maybe want to do a test render, you can keep your final size unchanged and scale this percentage down, so you have a smaller image at the end. What you can see here is the frame range of the video, so the start and ending frame. It's reflected here on the timeline, so you see 0, and you see between 240 and 260. So it's the end. It's right at the bottom of the screen too. Let's start and end, and the one here is the current frame. So you see if I click and drag on the editor window or on the timeline, I see the cursor bar move, and you see the number here changes. It's the current frame we have. So you we'll get to that later. But basically what I wanted to make was really set the frame rate, because if you change this, it can desync your audio and your video tracks later on. So that's something we have. And speaking of syncing, at the bottom you have the no sync. I want to put it in AV sync because this way you can be sure that your audio and your video is kept synced when in the preview thing. So it's always better to put it in AV sync. So one last thing I wanted to say is that you should enable, well, if your computer can handle it, audio scrubbing, which means as I said, if you drag your timeline, you'll see that you will be able to preview the video clips there. But if you want to hear roughly where the audio is at that point, you can go at the very bottom on the timeline playback menu, and you can add audio scrubbing. If you do that, then you will be able to hear the audio as you drag and scrub through the video. So let's get to it now. Let's do some basic editing. So I have an intro there, a little gameplay clip, and an image, which is a end slate, and a sound for the intro. Basically, when you want to import a clip, what you do is you position the cursor at the place you want to import the clip. You drag the clip to the multi-track editor here, and you let go, and you see that you have your clip into it. So basically what it shows is the name, the file name, and the length of the clip. You can zoom or de-zoom through with the mouse wheel, and you can use the scroll bar here, all the dots at the end of the scroll bar, to zoom horizontally or vertically. So here I can show a couple of tracks more. So you see now I have a track here, and if I drag the cursor, I see my intro playing, and basically that's what scrubbing is. You hear no audio because there is none at the moment. What you can also do is press Alt and A, and that will play the clip. So you see that's basically enabling playback. You can do this with with the buttons here. As you can see, Blender tells you the shortcut for this. So if you play, we have the same result, and you can go back to the beginning with this button. Now what happens is that I'm feeling like I have something like 4 seconds, well, exactly 4 seconds, since it's 120 frames, and I feel like that's maybe a bit, you know, a bit short for an intro. What you can use is this handle there, and there's where Blender has a little idiosyncrasy, I want to say. If you want to move this clip or do other resizing or all that good stuff, you need to select the clip, and you do that by right clicking, not left clicking. If you left click, you will just move the cursor. You see that you're not selecting anything. If you right click, well, if I right click outside, I deselect, and if I right click inside, I select the clip. Again, if I want to move things, I need to drag with the right mouse button, and you can see that Blender shows you the start and end frame of the clip, so you can position it very precisely. And what you can do is move it more precisely by pressing Shift, and there you see that my mouse like can make big movements and only adjust slightly the position of the clip, so that you can do very precise manipulation there with this. But so I want to keep it at the first frame. Oop, there we go. What did I do? Oh, okay. I right click to let it go. And what you can do is, for example, take the right handle and drag it, and you see I can extend the clip. For example, if I want to extend it up until, like, I want to add a second more, 150 for example, I left click to confirm it, and you see it throws the last frame of the video. Well, here it's a little bit cheated because the last frame is like the video ends with a still frame, but it just copies the last frame and it extends the clip up until where I want it. So now that I have an intro, I want to put some sound to it, and if I want to do that, I just take like OGG file, could be an MP3 or WAV file, and I do basically the same thing. You see the color is different. It's different for each type of clip you can add, but you see it goes over the limit of the video right now. Right now it ends at 1080. Well, no problem. I put it there, and you see I just extended the clip to there. I'm not the biggest Blender expert. There's probably a way to do that automatically, like adjust the size of the sequence. But you know, I'm going with what I learn, and I'm just showing it to you guys, and maybe you will be able to comment and tell me some things I didn't know, and I would be happy to learn. So now you see that if we scrub, oh boy, we have a loud intro there. If I have a clip selected, I can use this little plus there to open a secondary panel with the properties of the strip. So I see it's a sound type. If this one is a movie, and what I want to do is say, well, you know what, it's a little loud. So I'm scrolling through the options there, and I see volume. Let's say, okay, well, I think it's very loud. I want to put it to 0.2. Let's do this. Well, okay, that's loud now. It works better, and you see that if you scrub, I have like a preview of the sound. So that's pretty cool. Now, if I want to do more precise editing, so for example, if I want to see where blanks are, I can draw the waveform, and you see Blender will draw the waveform of the sound on the clip there. now I want to add my my gameplay video, right? And I want to do it by making a little transition there. But we'll get to that in a second. So I'm just going to first to import it. You see, so I drag and drop it. There, maybe there's something I don't know. Here Blender like put the two sounds on the same track, which is not ideal. So what I can do is right click. Oops, that didn't work out as expected. Oop, poop, poop. One more. That didn't work. Oop. Well. Look at that. So if I select the two clips, if I want to several clip, then I think you need to do it with the other way, which I want to show you guys about, and I kind of forgot. It's G. If you press the G key, then you can grab and move. So if you move vertically, you see you can change the track there, and let's put it at 150, for example, at the moment. If I scrub through my, and actually let me, I will just disable audio scrubbing just for a while there. You can see that if let's play it, and you will check the beginning of the clip there. Oops, apparently my computer is not too fond of me recording this while I'm editing. So you see I have a little dead time at the beginning. So if I draw the waveform of this and maybe zoom a little bit so that I see, you see that I have like this, all this space is not used. So what we want to do is cut, and cutting in Blender is very easy actually. I want to cut both my video and the audio, so I select the two. Selecting several clips, it's just you just press shift while you right click the different elements, and when I have my clip selected and I have my cursor at the position where I want to cut, I press K, and you see it cut part of the clip, and you have here those two little parts which are the dead part, and I can select them with shift and right click, then press delete, and yeah, I want to erase them. So you see now you have, this shows you that actually what it did, it made a copy, a limited copy if you want, of the strips. And you can now, for example, now that I see my intro is there, I can take, for example, those, J, go back in time. Like, for example, if I want a 2 seconds, a 2 seconds transition, and that's going to be I can do like 90, so 60 frames before the end of the intro, and you can always see the limits of the strips that Blender shows you. Let me get a little more space there to guide you. So I'm almost done there. What I want to do now is make a crossfade, because if right now if I play, I will have my intro, and then here, poof, suddenly I cut because this is higher in the tracks, and so this takes precedence over the other strip. So what I want to do is add a little transition, so a simple crossfade, for example. What I can do is take my first strip, the first one, then the one I want to transition into, and press Shift and A, or add, and then that's going to open the same menu. So Shift and A, you see I have the add menu there. I want to add a effect strip, and you see you have several effects there, a glow, for example, a wipe, or a cross, or a gamma cross, which is basically the same as a crossfade, but it uses some kind of color correction, so it's supposed to be a bit nicer. So let's use this. Let's click Gamma Cross, and you see it's going to insert an effect strip which goes in the overlapping period of the two strips. And as you can see, if you scrub, it's basically a fade in. And again, if you select just the effect strip, you have different properties for this. You can see the two inputs, which are kind of important, because you see you go from the intro file into the Minecraft gameplay file. So that's how you do it. And you can see some other properties I won't get into now. But with this, oh yeah, I need a last thing before I sign off. If I want to export my videos, for example here, I'll go back to the directory. I can choose a file. So like I can put like Minecraft render, for example. I click accept. I won't put the extension. Blender is going to put it. If you do, you check this checkbox, it's going to put the file itself, and I can select either an image sequence or a movie, and I can, for example, use H264, and then I have a panel with encoding option, and you see I can use everything. I'm usually using H264. You can select the bitrate and all that good stuff, and you can choose an audio codec, as for example, I don't know, FLAC AAC for there, and you can put a bitrate, the volume, so you have a slider of volume there. And when you're satisfied with all your choices, you can just click animation, and you will see that this panel or one other that you can configure this, but that's not really the point now. It's going to display your video and render it from the first frame there to the last frame here, and you'll end up with your video file that you can then upload or all that good stuff. But this is getting kind of long now, so I'm going to stop there. Hopefully you guys learned a thing or two or are intrigued by Blender's video editing capabilities. In next episode, I will go into some more complex transition stuff. I have several options I want to show you guys, and I want to show you the power of the keyframe system in Blender, and that's going to be exciting. This is probably going to be a two-part tutorial, so this probably won't be a third episode, except if I cannot explain everything I want to explain fast enough. But if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. You can get a hold of me on Twitter at Grungi Angfire with an underscore between Grungi and Angfire. Or you can just send me a message here on YouTube. Just put something in the comments. Well, I'm pretty easy to reach, so don't hesitate to ask me questions, and I will tell you what I know. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you around.